Hello, in this video I'll be showing you how to make a scatter plot with points distinguished by a categorical variable. I'm looking at some Madison, Wisconsin apartment data I collected a few months ago from a magazine called Start Renting. I'll be focusing on the rent here, which is in dollars, and also I want to take into account size in square feet. In addition, location. There's several different locations in the Madison area, west, south, north, etc., but I'll only be focusing on west and south. In addition, there's some other variables here, some indicator variables. Tells you how many bathrooms are included in the, how many bathrooms there are in the apartment. That's not an indicator variable, it's a count variable. But we have heat, 1 means it's included, 0 means not, etc. for some other variables. They're probably important for understanding rent, but we won't be focusing on them now. So let's just look at rent and size and location, and I'm going to use only valid data, no missing observations, which you can see there are some here. So I've cleaned up the data here. I have 106 apartments shown. Only 21 of them come from the south side, and the rest come from the west side. I like to convert my metric data initially because the numbers are kind of large. So what I'm going to do is rescale into hundreds of square feet and hundreds of dollars. So by using a formula, I just cursor over and divide by 100. Now both those two variables are in hundreds, and I'll show 2 decimal places of accuracy. Let's copy that and paste it right over its original location. Paste special values, and the formulas are gone, and so is my, okay, and I'll erase all of this stuff. Okay, so now we're dealing in hundreds of square feet and hundreds of dollars, which is fine. We don't need to work with those larger numbers. Okay, now I will split out the data. I like to split the data into 2 parts if I have 2 categories. So I'm going to take this size and rent data for the south side apartments. Let's center that and make sure we remember that this is south, so I'll give it a heading here. Okay, and then I want to take those headings and copy them over here, and this will be west. So I need to grab the west data. I start highlighting the data, shift control down arrow key, copy, and I'll paste that right there. Okay, now I'm ready to make my scatter plot. I'll start with the south side apartments, highlight the X and Y values, size and rent, insert, scatter, first option, and let's just slide this over a little bit. Actually, I'll cut it and paste it right here and stretch it out a little bit. Okay, so now these are the south side apartments. Let's right click anywhere on the graph, select data, go to series 1, edit that, and call that south. Press OK, and you can see it named the series south now. Now we want to add the west side apartments. Go to add, call this west, series X values, click on the icon over here, highlight the size values for west, icon, click on the series Y values icon, highlight those, press OK, press OK. There we go. So since there are many more west side apartments than south side, you can see they're mostly overlapping the blue points here, the south side apartments. Let's clean up this graph a little bit. I prefer no grid lines. I'll click on them once and hit the delete key. Let's rescale the axes to remove empty space. Earlier, not in the video, I found descriptive stats. Here they are. So I know, for example, that the min of south is 5. Let's see, overall min of rent is about $476, maximum of just under $1,400. Let's go from $400 to $1,400 for our scale on the y-axis. right click, format, 400 to 1400. Oh, sorry. I forgot I'm working in hundreds of feet. So I want to go from 4 to 14. Let's go by increments of 4. Press OK. Actually, let's get rid of the extra decimal places. Right click again. Format, number, 0. Under axis options, let's change the increment to 2. There you go. Looks a little better, I guess. Okay, and then for size, back in descriptive stats, overall size goes from approximately 300 to 2,000 square feet. So let's go 3 to 20. Right click, format axis, 3 to 20. Let's go increments of 3. Under number, let's change decimals to 0. There you go. And looking better, let's add a inside boundary around the plot area. Right click in the plot area, format plot area, border color, solid line. Let's go medium gray, and that matches this medium gray. Let's have axis labels. Click on the graph anywhere, go to layout, axis titles, horizontal, below the axis. This is size in hundreds of square feet. Okay, for Y, layout, axis, vertical, rotated. Let's go rent in hundreds of dollars. And it's looking pretty good. Let's get rid of the outside boundary. Right click anywhere in the outside, format chart area, border color, no line. And now, if I'm going to be printing in black and white, which I usually do, I think I'll change these points to be white circles and black circles. Right click on the west side points, format data series, marker options, built in. Let's do circles, marker fill, no fill, marker line color, solid line, make that black. That's the outer, the circle color on the outside rim. And then for the south side points, right click anywhere on those points, format data series, marker options, built in. Let's do circles again, marker fill, solid. Let's do a darkish gray, marker line color, solid, black line. Press OK. Okay, that looks like a pretty good graph. I could add an axis title yet. If you wanted to, go under layout, chart title. Generally, I'll say what the chart is off to the side or right above it and not put a title right in the graph. Although we know this is rent versus size by location. Okay, and what do I see here? Clearly, as size of the apartments increase, so does rent at a pretty linear rate, but there's certainly some variation. Looking closely, perhaps the south side points are a bit lower down on average than the west side points. So possibly, I'm not quite sure about this yet, but given a certain size, we may claim that south side apartments cost less than west side apartments. Okay, so in a future video, in another video, I'll show you how we can model the situation with regression analysis. I think we can start with fitting parallel lines to this scatter plot and make a better distinction if there really is a difference between south and west. Thank you.